Oh, hey there, bud. It's Hat and Beard. I hope you're having a great Valentine's Day. The day that celebrates the legendary Nick Valentine for Nick Valentine's Day. I hope you're having a wonderful Nick Valentine's Day. Let's talk about some XFL Week 2 Daily Fantasy. Well, that was a little bit ridiculous. Anyway, look, you guys. First and foremost, I'm not an expert. I'm not. I suck. If I was so goddamn good at daily fantasy, I probably wouldn't be doing this. I probably would just be doing that as a curmudgeon, just sharking the hell out of people. So, take that for what it's worth. Also, it's compounded by we don't know everything about these teams, right? Like, we had a super small sample size, and as you can tell by like the pricing of some of the players, we're not exactly, things are a little bit sharper, a little bit more dialed in, but they're not like real, like, the roles, who's gonna get the ball, who's gonna play, you know what I'm saying? Like, but we're gonna just plow ahead anyway, because you just gotta plow ahead. So let's talk about some players that I'm looking at, So leading it off, we'll get right into it with quarterbacks. I would go after Cardell Jones because I think that he has the most, I guess you would say, I think he has the easiest path to victory. And if his team wins, there's probably a good chance he's going to win. He's going to win. I'm dumb. There's probably a good chance he's going to perform well, especially in this up-tempo league that kind of favors the passing game. I also really like him with Eli Rogers. I like the target volume that he got last week. Everybody's going to be high on Rashad Ross and the speed. I think that Eli Rogers is a sneaky kind of play. I mean, he wasn't labeled as a starter, but we'll get into that later. I think Cardell Jones, like, if you look at his play, again, I know I dogged him in the last video. I called him like a rubber band man, because he's like lanky, dude. He like just kind of like gazelles about, dude. You know what I'm saying? And not like in a fast way either, just kind of floundering. But he's a sweet quarterback. Like, he finds a way to win. I think he's a great talent for this league. You know what I'm saying? But like, I feel like if you look at him, he has the highest floor with the potential for the highest ceiling. So I think he's probably the best quarterback play on the slate when you look at the weapons around him. Okay, the next quarterback I want to talk about is the big Mr. Hot Name himself, the guy that I couldn't remember, Mr. Philip Walker. Anyway, I think he's going to be the highest owned player on the slate, and justifiably so. He's electric. He's on a high-octane offense. But I want to see him do it on a regular basis. Is this going to be, was it a one-week wonder? Was it like, is this going to, can he maintain this level of play? And at a 10,006 salary, again, that's what, $400 difference between him and Cardell Jones. Flip a coin. Who do you want? Tell yourself a story. How do you see those games playing out? If you see those games playing out and Cardell Jones having a big day against New York, maybe you go that route. If you think that Philip Walker is going to go on the road and need to score a bunch of points against LA? Really? You think LA is going to be competitive this weekend? All right. Fair enough. You never know. I just, if you want to go the Philip Walker route, cash game viable. I wouldn't play him in tournaments though, but again, what do I know? I also have 2 quarterback value plays. One, if you really want to get weird with your roster, if you want to get really weird, and you almost have to couple him with his receiver, is if you want to go the Brandon Silvers route. I'm not saying he looked bad. He didn't look awful. I just think that the game kind of got away from the entire Seattle team as a whole in DC. So, you know, they're at home. They're playing them. Yeah. Jerry Glanville. Let's see if you're alive, Jerry Glanville. Let's see if you're actually alive. But if you want to go with Brandon Silvers and couple him, you know, with Austin Prohl, fine, go ahead. That's I think that's a way to like really diversify yourself, like really like, you know, get different from the pack, be more contrarian, right? Why not? And then the other quarterback that I mean, I can't not talk about it. Yo, the throwing Samoan, Jordan Ta'amu. He's only 8,900. 8,900 for a quarterback who threw for a touchdown, threw for over 200 yards, and rushed for 70 more yards. I think that Seattle, why can't I get St. Louis and Seattle straight, man? I think St. Louis will probably be playing from behind, and I think they're going to have to score a decent amount of points. Does that mean that Jordan Ta'amu is going to throw for a bunch of yards? Maybe, probably. I like it. He's got 2 decent wide receivers. We'll get to that later. But I also feel like he's going to have to run the ball 14 times maybe. So, 200 plus, 250 plus in the air. If he hits that 300, gets the 300 bonus, I can easily see him rushing for 100 yards on the ground with 100 bonus, maybe a touchdown. Okay, next we're going to talk about possibly the least important fantasy position in the XFL, and that'd be running backs. On DK, you're only allowed to have, allowed. DK only lets you have one rostered spot. I mean, you can jam it in the flex if you want. There's, the 2 flex spots? I mean, if you want to go running back, I just don't think there's a running back that really has enough value because we haven't really seen teams go that direction. So, as far as running backs, I'm actually going to go against my hatred. There's one running back, and I can see this guy having close to 100% ownership, and that's Davion Smith for the Tampa Bay Vipers. He's only 7,900, 7,500. He's only 7,500. I mean, sure, he had 16 plus touches in their just weird outing at New York, and now they got to travel across the country to Seattle. And I think Davion Smith can be the medicine that they might need to get over that sickness that they had in New York, because that was embarrassing. And if you really, I don't know. I guess to get off of that ownership, if you want, you could go, Jarrell Presley. If you're feeling froggy, I mean, I see another he'll probably have 10 or 12 touches. I just don't see teams using running backs in goal line situations. We didn't see that much volume in the passing game going to running backs exclusively. I want to see more the teams like hammer out an identity. I'd like to see who is going to be the running backs. You know what I mean? And Jarrell Presley's an even 7K. Why not? I guess. And if you really want some salary roster space, Matt Jones. Sure. Why not? Matt Jones, Battlehawks, St. Louis Battlehawks. Sure. Why not? Matt Jones? Just, again, I think Jordan Ta'amu is going to be the more productive player in that game. All right, next up we got wide receivers. I've got 5 wide receivers I'd like to talk about. It's going to be pretty quick. I mean, it's pretty simple. We've seen the numbers. If you play all your cards right, you're going to have plenty of salary space to jam these guys in. I want to talk about, we're going to look at Nelson Spruce because he had 11 catches, and I think he's Adam Thielen-esque. I want to look at Eli Rogers for previously mentioned in the last quarterback portion there, whatever. You know, he had 6 targets. I think he caught all 6 of them. I think so. Eli Rogers is what I'm talking about when I say you're going to want to target. You want to go after NFL guys that were in the league, who were, you know, on that cusp of being in the league, and then for whatever reason, you know, aren't, but are trying to have a legitimate shot at working their way, because they're just I mean, they're just better, dude. Like, let's be real. Let's be real. They're just better. And Eli Rogers is just better. I wouldn't be mad. 9,700. You're not paying up for the 10. What I got there? 10-4 for Nelson Spruce, right? And LA, is Josh Johnson gonna play? Who knows? Who knows what LA is gonna do against Houston when, you know, Phillip Walker just like goes absolutely crazy on him, you know. The other wide receivers I briefly mentioned, Austin Prohl, because if you want to get crazy, I mean, he had 2 touchdowns, he just didn't have a lot of volume. And if you want to pair him with Brandon Silvers, that's fine. I'm just not a big fan of the Seattle Dragons, I think, against the Tampa Bay Vipers. I just don't care about that game, man. I just do not care about that game. I just think Aaron Murray is such trash. I just think he's trash. He's just trash. Aaron Trash Murray. But hey, he's doing things that I could never do. So, you know, take that for what it's worth. I'm just a hat and beard. I'm just a hat and beard making a video in the corner of my living room. Yesterday I talked about Flynn Nagel, so if you want to go after Flynn Nagel and pair him with Landry Jones, feel free, go right ahead. Flynn Nagel, I mean, he had a lot of volume. He had like 10-some points. I don't think he got into the end. Yeah, of course he didn't get into the end zone. Nobody from Dallas got into the end zone. So let's just pump the brakes on Dallas as a whole for their offense, because Landry Jones wasn't playing. Hal Mummy looked crazy as hell. But I like the volume I seen from Flynn Nagel. And then just to continue to be on the St. Louis Battlehawks bandwagon, I'm just going to say, flip a coin, take your pick between Alonzo Russell and Marcus Lewis. Alonzo Russell had the touchdown, Marcus Lewis had the volume. He had more targets, but, you know, I think that's how it's going to be this season with Seattle. St. Louis, I think that Tamu is just going to kind of be like, you know, one guy one day, one guy the next, and he's going to get a lot of work on the ground. I just think that's how they're going to shake out. I mean, they got their strength is in the running game with Matt Jones and Christine Michael. Even though Michael, what do you have, like -0.1 points last week? But like I said, that's week 1. You can't judge everything off of week 1. So, you know. So that's going to bring us to defenses. And there's only 2 defenses that I really care about. I guess 3 if you really want to go with DC against the Guardians. I don't know how that game's going to shake out. I'm going to look at Houston, because I think that I think LA's offensive line is not that great. And I guess if you want to start Seattle's defense at home against the Tampa Bay, go ahead, get weird with it. I feel like all of Seattle plays are just get weird with it. Why not? So that's defense. So that's going to do it for our first week of XFL talk on this channel. This is our first episode of the XFL DFS videos, and if you like it, give it a thumbs up. Maybe subscribe. Maybe ring the bell for notifications. Maybe order pizza tonight. I don't know. Anyway, I've been Hat and Beard. You've been a turkey sandwich. See you next time, bud. Bye.